Hi, my name is Samantha Yiu, and I'm an SE based out of Toronto, Canada.
Hi, my name is Erik Lefebvre, and I'm an SE based out of Vancouver, Canada, and we're going to be talking with you about our connected service solution.
Before we talk about what connected service is, I wanted to talk about the inspiration behind the project. The inspiration behind connected service actually came from one of my good friend's boyfriend at the time. To give you a bit of background, my good friend lives here in Canada, whereas her boyfriend lives in the United States. He's also deaf. What this means is that he mainly communicates using American Sign Language. He does not lip read, he doesn't have a hearing aid. ASL is his primary means of communication. Being a long-distance couple, they obviously wanted to see each other, and for them, that involved flying. I remember the first time that my friend's boyfriend wanted to come to Canada. It was his first time ever flying, and he actually faced a number of issues during that flight. Being a new flyer, he didn't know terminology like what a gate was, what a terminal was. He didn't know how to navigate the airport. So I remember he asked a security guard for assistance. That security guard unfortunately did not know how to communicate with him. He tried talking louder, he tried pointing in different directions, and eventually got fed up with communicating with this individual that he didn't know how to communicate with. This actually is a common scenario for a lot of deaf individuals across North America and the world. They can't receive the quality of service that us hearing people get, mainly because the agents at each location don't have the skill set or have never been trained to deal with those individuals. For businesses, this is also a problem too. They can't necessarily provide agents at each location with that skill set due to things like demand, headcount, and finding the right skill set. So what we wanted to do with connected service was leverage technology to bridge that gap. We wanted to give businesses a tool so that they could provide great customer service across all of their locations without actually having to individually source specialized agents for each location. We're hoping that leveraging technology, we can bridge that gap for service and end customers while also making the technology seamless.
We're trying to create a service that allows an end user to connect with a specialized customer representative while making that technology as transparent as possible to them. Video is proven to be a very effective method for a specialized team to reach a broader audience. However, it usually requires a facilitator to initiate that call, or it can take a couple of minutes for users to actually understand how to initiate a call. Not everyone is technologically adept, and for those users who shy away from technology, this can be a lost opportunity for them to actually reach some specialized help. Our solution is composed of a Meraki security camera and a video endpoint, and the idea is that as a person approaches the video endpoint, the Meraki security camera detects it's a person, initiates a call, and has a customer representative greeting them immediately.
Connected service is made up of several solution components. The first component being our video endpoints. Our service kiosks will be leveraging video endpoints, and in addition to that, our remote agents would have their own video endpoints as well. For our service kiosk, we'll be making use of the REST API on those video endpoints. This will allow us to do things like remotely log into that endpoint and initiate a call to our group of agents. We've set up a unified communication server. This is going to be used for video endpoint registration, and in addition to that, we'll be making use of a telephony feature called the Hunt Group. For people detection, we'll be leveraging the Meraki MV12 camera. This will serve several technical purposes. First, the camera will act as an MQTT client. What MQTT allows us to do is it allows us to receive real-time updates as to the analytics that our camera is gathering. We'll also be leveraging the MV Sense and the MV Snapshot API. We've set up an MQTT server. In our environment, this is an Ubuntu machine running an MQTT broker application called Mosquito. What our MQTT server is essentially doing is it's receiving updates from our Meraki camera. If we have other clients subscribed to this server, they'll be able to see the updates that our server is receiving. We've also set up an Ubuntu virtual machine. This is running a Python script that is subscribed to our MQTT server for updates, and it's doing other things like parsing information and taking action on that information. We're leveraging Azure Cognitive Services Face API. The reason why we went with the dedicated facial recognition service is we found that the MV12 camera wasn't always 100% accurate when it came to people detection. To give you an example, when we pointed the camera at my cat's hairbrush, it actually detected that as several people. What we want to do with this solution is we want to avoid false positives and ensure that our group of agents are only being used when an actual person needs assistance at a kiosk. From an end user perspective, this is what they'd see: a video endpoint and a security camera. In the background, that video endpoint is registered to our CUCM server. We also have remote agent video endpoints as well, which will register to this server. We're leveraging a feature called the hunt group. What a hunt group allows us to do is it allows us to assign a single extension to multiple users. In this case, it'll be our pool of agents. When a person starts walking up to our service kiosks, what our MV12 cameras will do is it will detect a new person in sight, and it'll publish an update to our MQTT broker. That broker will update what's called its topics, and anyone that's subscribed to those topics will see that update. In our case, we have our Ubuntu virtual machine, which is running its Python script subscribed to those topics. So when our Python script sees that update, it's going to essentially go to the Meraki snapshot API and send a REST request saying, can you send me what you're seeing at this time? That snapshot API will then respond back with a URL of a generated snapshot from the camera. When our script receives that URL, it's going to send it off to Cognitive Services Face API for further analysis. Azure Cognitive Services will then send back an analysis in the form of JSON data. Once our Python script receives that JSON data, it's going to parse through it to determine if any people were detected by the Face API. If a person was detected, our script will then initiate a login to the service kiosk's video endpoint, and it will dial the hunt group extension. By dialing the hunt group extension, our remote agents will then receive a call from that service kiosk. Once one of our remote agents picks up, CUCM will work its magic and establish that video call. We'll then have a remote agent ready to assist our customer at that service kiosk stand. Before we go into our demo, I just wanted to quickly explain our demo environment. On the left-hand side, this shows what our kiosk looks like in our demo environment. So we have a video endpoint here, and in the middle of this video endpoint, we've attached a Meraki camera so that it can see who's walking up to the video endpoint. On the right-hand side, we have two video endpoints. These represent two different agents. So in reality, these video endpoints could be geographically dispersed, but just to show that we have more than one agent receiving a call from our video endpoint when someone approaches it, we put them together in our demo environment.
Hi there, how can I help you? Hi, can I have some directions, please?
We've given one example of using this solution in the service industry, but it could easily be applied to many others. For example, in the banking industry, where organizations are moving more and more to a lean branch model. With the advent of the internet, we're actually starting to see new banks that operate purely online with little or no physical presence. Connected Service could simplify how these organizations scale to extend a physical presence to their customers. And this might actually allow them to tap into new customer segments they haven't had traditional access to. Imagine as new customers walk into the store that they can actually be automatically connected to different resources, be that a mortgage broker, a financial advisor, or many other services. All the while, they can still receive a personal service that could be lacking in a purely online tool. The solution could also be used in a corporate environment where one receptionist can service multiple remote buildings all at the same time. And we also see applications in both the healthcare space and the retail spaces, among others. As companies are forced to adapt and operate in a digital landscape, video has proven to be an extremely effective communication tool. To see the true potential of video, simplifying how people initiate calls results in a better total experience and will also result in a higher adoption rate. Connected Services' goal is to remove consumers' hesitation to interact with video, which will allow companies to deliver new and better services.